All right, and we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Once again, it is time for current events in the online fitness community, and this has been the single most requested video that I've had. They're like, you don't dare to cover the Layne Norton alcohol video. Yeah, I'm going to cover it. But here's the thing. Everybody knows there's been a lot of bad blood between Layne and I. I'm actually going to approach this one maturely. I'm going to approach it maturely. I'm going to approach it with people's best interests. And we'll get to some other stuff later, guys. We'll get to all that after we discuss this. Now, everyone knows there's bad blood between us. Before anyone says you're insignificant to Layne, really, Layne spent $300,000 suing me before. I don't think I'm insignificant to him. Okay? I don't think that I'm insignificant to him. I'm $300,000 significant. So, on to the topic. Layne discussed the meta-analysis, and I'm going to discuss what he said there, but then I'm going to discuss his opinions afterwards, and then kind of looking at what things like the FDA, the World Health Organization, the Surgeon General says. Because realistically, and it's no knock intended to his PhD, I don't think his opinion stacks up against the World Health Organization on the specific topics. Now, that being said, he went over the meta-analysis. I have zero doubt that Layne is competent to give an assessment of the meta-analysis. He said he looked through the data. I have no reason to believe that he didn't. Okay, I think it's perfectly reasonable to assume that Layne, with his research background, his PhD in nutrition, probably really did give an honest assessment of the data, the multivariate analysis. I'm not going to doubt that. Like, from a professional perspective, I'm sure he actually did a pretty good job there. Probably did a much better job than I'd be capable of doing. I can admit that. I don't have the level of education he does in that area. Fair. I have to defer to that. Okay? Have to defer to that. That is an area of expertise of his that I do not possess. Therefore, I'm going to assume he probably did a good job. Here's my problem with a lot of it. The problem is he kind of pointed out that the difference between true abstainers versus the fake abstainers versus people who drink moderately is such a tiny difference on the total all-cause mortality that it probably doesn't matter. I'm going to disagree a little because it still matters. You're still talking about some lives, a fairly statistically insignificant difference, but it's still there. We still know alcohol is bad. Okay. So we're still talking about some lives. That's the factor to think about. All right. Is he largely correct that for most of the processes in the body, in moderation, if your body is functioning correctly and your metabolic health is on point, can your body largely dispel the toxic impact of alcohol in the system? Yeah, that's why we have a liver. He's right. He is right. Can't actually disagree with his take on that. However, he made some points with that of what we have to factor in. We're not talking about through the whole system. When you look at what the World Health Organization has said, that zero intake of alcohol is safe. This is their official statement with their leading researchers saying any amount increases the risk of multiple types of cancer by a substantial amount. So we're not talking all-cause mortality. We are talking about specific around 7 types of cancer. Things like cancer of the esophagus, cancer of your colon, cancer of the stomach. Do you see where we're going here? These are areas to where your liver and other things have no chance to detoxify the alcohol. This is what the World Health Organization is saying, that all these cancers of the digestive system, cancer in your butt, cancer in your esophagus, again, butt cancer, that'd be a topic for NH and Cubby, that these things are it's not gonna help you there. That even tiny moderation still dramatically increases the risk of those cancers. All-cause mortality, sure, he's absolutely right. However, when it comes to those others, the data on that's clear, and this is what the leading researchers and experts are saying. And he didn't address that. Now, the other thing he pointed out, well, I can't say, regarding the social aspects, it might be a net benefit. So, but what about the social negatives? So let's talk about that. We're not even going to get into what does the research say on all-cause mortality. We have to look at what we know about the social harm that alcohol causes. How about the social harm? How about the accidents? I mean, let's be realistic here. People talk about pew-pews in America. You do know out there that in America, you were like 30 times more likely to be killed by a drunk driver than by an assault rifle. Most of you may not be aware of that. It's actually more than that. It's probably like 100 times. You're way more likely. It's tens of thousands of people are killed by drunk drivers every year in America. Tens of thousands. It's a pretty staggering number. I've lost friends to drunk drivers. How about that? How about the violence? How about the domestic violence? How about all the other accidents? That's a pretty catastrophic death toll. And again, we're talking about the social benefits, but it's a depressant. Alcohol causes depression. It contributes to suicide. So if we're going to have a talk about mental health, and I, as someone who has drank too much in the past, who is coming up on, I've not had a drink, coming up on 6 years next month. It will be 6 years. So why aren't we talking about this? So he's talking about the social positives. Layne, I'm going to flat disagree with you. I have observed the absolutely horrific consequences of alcohol. Everything from I've seen deaths by drunk drivers of loved ones. Okay, more than one. I've seen the violence. I've seen the depression. I've seen people who drink, who I've known who off themselves. Okay, so we're going to talk about the mental health aspects. Those are the mental health aspects. It is a depressant. It doesn't have social benefits. It's a net negative. So that's where I'm going to call him and disagree. I'm not going to disagree with his assessment of most of the types of mortality. He's probably correct. But to make the claim about the social benefits or psychological or mental well-being, this is a addictive depressant. And then we have to factor in the addiction aspect. How many people who drink in that environment are going to become addicted? All right, this is kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal, guys. Are we going to discount that? All right. And that's pretty much what I'm going to say on that. And I'm going to keep that mature. I'm going to keep that response professional. I'm not going to throw insults. I'm not going to throw any insults at Layne. Knows I didn't throw any names at him. We just called it like it is. No, absolutely not on the mental aspects. It is a net negative, and he knows it. And the same thing as a professional to stand there and talk about the all cause without addressing the stuff that your system can't filter, that the Surgeon General is literally want to put warnings about right now, and that the World Health Organization's official position is based upon the research. Okay. All right. Let's talk a little bit about stuff. I'm going to ignore all the trolling stuff, guys. I'm going to let you guys post in here unless you get out of control. But the reality is, man, I am going to just answer real questions. We're going to stick to things of importance or things I find interesting. I'm going to ignore nonsense from haters, but I'll let you guys post. All right. And Peppermint, all you other guys, if we could ask real questions instead of engaging the trolls, let's get some real conversation. PS5, Sauna Fit King, bench press every day and overhead press and pull-ups and push-ups. He trains legs twice a week. Tell everyone to follow his routine. His channel is He Natty. He's going to have overuse problems. I can tell you right now, benching every day, overhead pressing every day, he is eventually going to destroy his shoulders. We observe this all the time in these high-frequency pressers. Okay? They don't stay in the long game, even in powerlifting. Okay. Thoughts of performing SFD. I don't know what any of that means, Kenneth. You're going to have to put those into the name of normal exercises. Trump has the US. Let's see. All right. Let's see. We're going to get rid of the worst, ridiculous trolls, and I'll let other people stay. Let's get rid of that guy. All right. No, Jimmy, but here's the problem. How do people become alcoholics? Jimmy, how do people become alcoholics? By doing exactly what he discussed. This is how it happens. Cameron, do you think I should eat a higher healthy carb diet to lean bulk? I'm currently 194. Sure, why not? What's your dream holiday destination? I don't know. I don't really think about that. I have places I'd like to travel to again, but I'm not going to make that all public. All right. Again, you guys know the rules. We're going to get rid of the nonsense. Hey, Dak, I've taken accountability for a lot of things. Okay, Dak, let's go there. A lot of the stuff that people want me to take accountability for would require me to lie because I've told the truth on certain things. But didn't I say already in streams? Okay, let's just say this. And I said, let's cover these and let's move on. So no black belts. Okay, I don't have a black belt, not run marathons, never done a bodybuilding show. Done. All right, and I've already had a solid client base. Now let's get over to away from all the trolling stuff. I covered all those points. Let's get over to real stuff. White versus brown rice. Okay, it's going to be context dependent, right? It's going to be context dependent. What are you trying to achieve? Brown rice probably better for satiety. Can it cause some GI tract distress? White rice better for digestion, a little lower nutrients. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, bro, that's kind of a strange interpretation. Was my drinking a factor? Sure, I don't blame it. I already owned the main thing. I owned the fake Merc. Let's get away from all this bullshit, though. Otherwise, I'm just have to ban you guys. So let's ignore all the trolling and get to real questions. Is it true that all elite sportsmen women are on some form of gear? Probably. The overwhelming majority. I mean, peppermint. Let's look at it this way. Can we say all? Can we say all? Are there going to be statistical outliers to anything? Okay. So can we say, change that to instead of all, can we say the overwhelming majority? Is it a safe gamble? Like if your life was on the line and God could know for certain, instead of just taking that person's word or a drug test, would it be a safe gamble? Like if you had to gamble your life on it? It'd probably be the safer bet, would be to always assume. Can creatine cause water retention in the face? Not that I'm aware of. I'm not aware of any mechanism by which you could do so. Mark, I'm not really going to address politics for the most part here. You're entitled to your political opinion. It's called being in America. Coach, thoughts on Trump RFK bringing forth a second prohibition of America? Do you think that'll actually happen? I mean, I would support the idea personally of prohibition again. It may not end well, but philosophically speaking, I support the idea. It's addictive poison. addictive poison, which is the topic that we're talking about here today. But I am unaware of that being part of the actual written policy there. What kind of punch is that? It's called water. It's just flavored water. I would probably be a bootlegger with seriously alcoholic. Yeah, I mean, it's a poison. It's an addictive poison, and I don't know how we can spin it any other way. And no, I don't believe there are any socially redeeming qualities, and that's my opinion. Now, are people free to disagree with my opinion? Those of you who have been chiming in, sure, you can disagree with me, but we're not going to agree on that point. RFK chugging go mad of raw milk. Yeah, I can't say that I support that either personally. You know, is he really doing a gallon of raw milk a day? I doubt it. Peppermint, not really. No, I don't think that's a real concern. I'm not going to get into that whole situation, but I don't think Elon is actually one. I don't think that he is. Just my opinion. Again, you're entitled to a different opinion. What's the next move? How about I don't tell you what my next move is? Marco, do you think I should give Frenchie my playbook? Or should I lie about what I'm going to do to throw him off? Like, so do you want me to lie? Or do you guys want me to be honest moving forward? So if you're wanting me to give my playbook, I'm going to have to give you a lie so that I don't give the real thing. So do you guys want Jason to be an honest person, or do you want me to be a liar? So I'm better to keep my mouth shut so that I don't have to tell a lie. Coach, thoughts on Dwayne Rock urinating in bottles and storing them? God, what? Jason Blaha, French accent. You're talking about my natural hypertrophy accent. Hey, everybody, this is natural hypertrophy. Today, we're going to talk about Jason Blaha with my outrageous French accent. That one. And I'm not going to answer some of that because I feel like I've addressed them. I don't know what else you guys think. I mean, you guys are getting ridiculous. I mean, here's a bunch of the problems. A ton of stuff that is 100% true people think I lied about. But it's true. I've worked on a natural gas platform. I've worked on natural gas compressors. My friends and I built cars and street raced in high school. These are things that I've been accused of lying of. I've never lied about my height. So on and so forth. And therein lay the problem. Abdul, if you follow the trend, it's been going down for 2 years straight. It's been 1,000 here, 1,000 there, because I built a chunk of that following with all the meme posting that I don't do anymore. I only had 100,000 followers as a fitness page. Now that it's returned to purely fitness, they have been trickling down. Is that a fair answer? Right? And if you've observed the trend, you will have noticed I've probably lost about 20,000 followers on there over the last, say, almost 2 years, year and a half, approximately. NH needs to start with reparations. No, he doesn't need to do all that. But I mean, he does associate with neo-Nazis publicly. So, you know. Peppermint, I'm not going to go into detail as to why. I obviously have reasons, but I would rather not discuss it. No, Chris didn't buy any. It happened organically. It was organic followers. I had a couple spurts where it blew up, but look how viral the posts were. Okay, Chris, when I was posting some of those memes, did you notice that some of the actual posts were getting 700, 800,000 likes and thousands of comments? So that was actually organic. And you could just go look at it yourself. I mean, it's not hard to check. You could go back 2 years ago and look at the content and be like, oh, okay, it'll make sense. No, I just got really lucky with the funny stuff that I was doing. PS5, because elite lifters train less than before because now they're stronger, have to recover more. Is that what needs to get what? No, I don't know that that's the case at all. Okay. Yeah, Chris, go back and check the thousands of comments in English. It's not hard for you to double check that. So you're either trolling or you really didn't look. All right. The outrageous French accent is my phone notification sound. That's good to hear. Thoughts on Athlete X's latest The Perfect Leg Workout video? I haven't seen it. Dude. Could you guys link it to me somewhere? You were a really good shit poster, Coach. I enjoy scrolling your Facebook. Exactly. Yeah. Bro, Facebook doesn't like anyone using any content that's not 100% original. So for certain types of pages, they don't want us doing anything. So it's not just stealing. They don't even like you repurposing it incorrectly. So I simply quit. I followed their rules. Right? Follow the rules. What were your expectations when you started Ice Cream Fitness? Did you think your popularity? No, I had no clue. I don't think anyone could have predicted that originally, Shane, let alone me. All right. Hey, Chris, whether you're being facetious or not, I appreciate that because now, setting aside any nonsense, yeah, I have never bought subs, followers, or used fake plates. You can accuse me of other stuff fairly; those you can't. If invited to Strap-On's new bum home gym, would you go check it out? No. I have no interest in hanging out with him, and I have no interest in going to Canada. Layne's still claiming lifetime natty when calling out others for their BS. Exactly, Gary. People, I mean, why do people want to jump all over me? Like, Grisha, you're the worst liar ever. When you have these guys who are professional natties, come on. And they make a fortune off of it. I should have done that from day one. Do you think got big squat max and leg because you what? Oh, you're that guy. Coach, do you like Chipotle? Yeah, it's okay. Guys who have to keep saying they're not natty are definitely not natty. I'm gonna go natty then. I mean, clearly that's what works, right? To be natty. What do you guys think? Should I just go full natty from now on? I think that's what I'm going to do. Probably be in my best interest. Yep, just go full natty, bros. I will still offer gear talk consultations though, like I've been doing. Do science-based lifters hinder gains by being too robotic and strict with their form on every exercise? Yeah, I'm gonna become a Noble Natty. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be a Noble Natty. All natural, baby. All natural. Why does Strap-On pride himself for cheating on his lifetime pulls? He clearly shouldn't pride himself on cheating. What do you mean? Oh, by putting straps and stuff on? You're more chill these past few days, Jason. Surprised. I suppose that's a good thing. Yeah, man. I'm still going to do some of these. I'm going to get fired up in certain videos, but being super fired up all the time, it's not always enjoyable. I do got to save some of it for the training. Yeah, and I'm just going to ignore the silliness from here. Let's stick with real stuff. Them teddies are 100% all natural. All naturel and outrageous French accent. Man, them teddies. Them all natural veins. Coach, how rare impressive is a 700 overhand pull? You're not talking hook grip. You mean double overhand? That's insane. I doubt there are many people in the world capable of doing that. Hey, Coach, is there any chance GVS is natty? Nope. I legit believe that for ages receive it. I did a whole video breaking it down. Hey, deal. But when did the subs happen? What sort of views was I getting when the subs climbed to that? I was getting millions of views per month. So have you considered that maybe the old subs just aren't chiming in? Pretty straightforward. I also have a check mark. Go research how their AI checks for fake accounts and they give you the check mark. So again, not my opinion, just go research it. Instead of saying, oh, I hate Jason, he's a liar, and then lie about researching it, just go research it. Done. I'm an old sub, Mads Kev. Appreciate, hey man, good to see you in here then. Yeah. Chris, I'm going to completely disagree. I'm going to completely disagree. Yeah, Hercules, that's a conflicting statement. You can't have both. You can't buy fake subs and have a check mark. That's how it works. Not my opinion. Go research it. Scott Sermon has over 2.5 million subs and only gets a few thousand views these days. Happens to channels that have been around. Yeah. Laura says, I am sub since the UK days. Good times. Awesome, man. Glad you've stuck around. Yeah. Hercules doesn't realize that he just made a conflicting statement. You got to pick one. I can't have fake subs and have a check mark. Coach thoughts on GVS way jacked. I don't know what that means. What do you mean by the latter? Can people squat 600 ass to grass natural? There are some people who have, I'm sure. Well, Chris, you just told a lie. All right. His new split way jack. No, I haven't looked at it. Yeah, I don't even, is Genetic Beast even blocked? All right. So, can we get some real topics going here, guys? Because quite frankly, you guys are being boring today. So the people who are talking about being long-term subs, let's actually get some real topics going. You should go balls to the wall with the gear and get massive. No, I don't know, Frank. Let's get some topics, man. I covered for you guys a basic current events. Let's talk about fitness. Let's talk about life. Let's talk about something besides these trolls and their stuff. You know, just quit engaging them, guys. You guys are not helping when you engage them. Is Layne natty? Do you think Layne is natty? GVS is way jack programs on how to pay well. He said his video it was for free. Well, he's also a Noble Natty man. But it'd be a bad idea to cut from 170 to 160. Depends on how much muscle you have. Right? It's going to be relative to what you have going on. Tommy, what do you mean all the gear I've done? Man, I'm a Noble Natty now. Didn't you catch the feed earlier? What is your favorite decade of music? Oh, probably the 80s. All right. Jason, what made you get lean all of a sudden? No, it wasn't all of a sudden. I took my time. I took my time chipping the body fat down over time. I think it's good for health. I think it's good for outreach, right? And there's nothing wrong with looking better, dude. There's nothing wrong with getting up and saying, you know what? I want to look fit. I want to look good. But still be strong and still be jacked. I'm not sure where the Noble Natty term came from. What's the difference between a Noble Natty and a non-Noble Natty? See, the non-Noble Natty is someone who just decides to be natty and doesn't judge other people. The Noble Natty is someone who believes that they're morally superior. They're like the vegans of the natty world, right? Jay said that. Yeah, I mean, there you go. Confused is fair enough. You're looking vascular, bro. Thank you, man. Got the veins. Of course, it's cold in here, so they're not popping out. As soon as the temp comes back up, they'll be ever. They were pretty big this morning, though, in the breakfast chat. Coach, would that guy be able to sue West for attempted murder? I don't know. I don't know. That would be a good question for a lawyer. Pepper says it strengthens intermediate numbers. I don't like body fat at 170, though. I don't know. I mean, if you want to get leaner, and then lean bulk up, dude. Halo says, I feel like when I get strong and jacked, I get less popular. Why would that be? Deal breakers, I honestly think GVS is natty, to be honest. I don't think so. Not them delts. He pins his delts. Jason, advice for someone trying to quit alcohol who has alcohol abuse disorder. You may need to go to a program, dude. You may need to go to a program, right? I quit cold turkey, but I suppose I wasn't that hardcore. I don't actually claim that I was an alcoholic. I keep telling people I don't identify as having been an alcoholic. I identified as having a drinking problem, and I chose to get rid of that problem. So if you're a serious hardcore alcoholic, you may need to do a program, dude. Jason, one thing daily drinking did for me was double my HDL on my diet. Yeah, it doesn't increase your HDL. Am I familiar with Andrew Tate? Yes, I make fun of Andrew Tate. Have you ever met a fitness influencer who didn't lie about their height? Not that I can think of so far. I find it weird people believe GS that he's natty, but no one believes Michael Hearn. If GVS is natty, then he should get to Michael Hearn's level by the time he gets to his age, right? Andrew Tate is a fraud. He caters to male incel insecurity renagers. I agree. I don't care if Andrew Tate's natty or not. Can you do a push-up video demonstration at some point? Like, I don't really do push-ups, so I don't really care. I would do a million other demonstrations before that. Why wouldn't we cover lifts of importance? Any advice, experience with cigarette addiction? I've never smoked in my life. You should make a meme coin. All your haters would buy, they probably would. I should probably sell my used underwear. I bet you they'd buy them. Jason, do any of the Olympic lifts, not the big four, like jerks, cleans, belong in a bodybuilding? In a bodybuilding split, I don't necessarily think that they need to be there. Definitely not. Jason, John Bravo's new video shows Wes Watson being 5'7" max, despite his claim 6 foot. It happens. Thoughts on progressive underload? That sounds like a bad idea, man. Progressive underload? So you want to get smaller? Your name is Sacre Bleu. You sound like natural hypertrophy. No, Tommy, let's not hang out. Olympic lifts are too complex for most people to learn without a lot of coaching. Agree the truth to that. Jason, thoughts on Milo Wolf? Dude, he doesn't even look like he lifts in a shirt. He puts on a t-shirt and you can't tell he lifts. He could very well be natty. Jason, thoughts on Wes Watson squatting 503? Not that bad a form either, but he's on gear. I haven't seen it. But, I mean, if he did, that's pretty solid. How many carbs do you think is too much for someone who's lean bulking? If you gain weight too quickly, it's too much. There's no set number for that. It's completely dependent upon your weight gain and energy needs. Well, Pepper, why don't you cut really, really, really slow like I recommend? Stan, I have heard nothing about it other than in these chats. They have not contacted me at all. Jason, who would win in a fight, Logan or Jake Paul? I'm going to go with Wolverine. All right. Jason, you should start an organization and be the leader. Hey, Tommy, if I'm not important, then why do you guys obsess over me all day and make tons of sock accounts to spam my stuff? I'm clearly your god. Do you think Hercules hates on you because he's attracted to you? Hercules is clearly attracted to me. Isn't that right, Hercules? Hey, legend, we don't need to feed the trolls. Jason, when's the last time you trained in a public gym? Last year? Daniels, do you think Jeff Nichols needs to start a self-defense class for future confrontations? No, I don't think so. If I do heavy deadlift and 3 days later heavy squat, good morning, do they too close to each other? Did you recover? Were you able to perform optimally? That's the questions. There's the answer. Do you think he plays that video? Hercules probably when DC jumped up, and yeah, I think Hercules pleasures himself to that video on a daily basis, sometimes twice a day. All right, do you agree with starting strength philosophy? No, I think they get some things right, but I think they get some things wrong. All right. Hercules, so what's the answer to that? Is it just once a day or more than once a day? In your drinking prime, could you win a drinking contest? Probably not. Boring but big 5-3-1, good or bad? It's mid at best. I don't care about a lot of this political conversation, deal breaker, honestly. Thoughts on Dr. Mike Israel being a science lifter while failing to win an amateur bodybuilding show, right? So who is taller, Strap-on or Jeff Nichols or Dr. Mikey? I don't know which of the three is taller. I would have to compare them. They've all been in the same rooms together, so we could probably figure it out. Hey, Chris, I've not seen any evidence of any of that, by the way. Who's stronger, me or Mike? I don't know. I actually have no idea right now. Thoughts on 2 times a week versus 1 time a week for hypertrophy volume? I like once a week for most stuff these days. You're going to be better on your joints overall. Do you think Martin Birkin's reverse pyramid training is too minimalistic? I think it is a bit too minimalistic, but it does work. Did you see Lyle McDonald, Greg Raper on Mike Israel? Not only did I see it, I made a response video, one of the lives. Check it out, Frank. Kai Green was noticeably shorter than Nick Wright. Wow. I've met Kai Green. He's about up to here. No, he's probably about here. Trying to remember, right about there. Jason, thoughts on old school smash mouth style behind the neck press? I don't know what that means. Let's see. Curious why you've never put out a paid program? Because I put out free programs. Yeah, Kai Green is really short, dude. I don't know why he has 5'8" listed. He's not 5'8". Yeah, I've already said I regret promoting some of the minimalist stuff. Arnold and Ferrigno doing behind the neck barbell presses. Okay, but I don't know your other reference. Smash Mouth is a band. I don't think that band existed back then. So what are you talking about? Coach, you think business will be better this year on all fronts due to all this other stuff? I think it will be. Dude, I've been in a room with Kai Green. I've literally been 2 feet from Kai Green. I'm way taller than him. Favorite coffee in any coffee? I like just coffee in general, dude. I mean, I like just some of the local ones they sell here at the HEB, the Texas Pecan, and some of those are good. I like them. Thoughts on always? I don't think you need to always live to failure. I don't think it's ideal to always live to failure. I think doing some of your sets to failure every workout are a good idea. I don't think you have to do it all the time. Be with a rep or 2 of failure, most of your stuff, few sets to failure. I think it works really well. Coach, do you ever perform everyday feats of strength on non-lifters, such as crushing a can with your hands, bending an iron bar? No, not really. Grapefruit and Chuck Basher. Thoughts on the Gulf of America? It's going to be hard. For me to make that change, because it's always going to be the Gulf of Mexico. I mean, I don't oppose the name change, but for me, I'm always going to think of it as the Gulf of Mexico because it has been for the first 48 years of my life. Why don't your haters show their faces? Seems like a lot of trash talking. Because they're cowardly losers. Okay, what's the latest time of day to drink coffee? I cut it off before noon, no matter what. Herky Titties wants to film the Chuck Basher film with you. He probably does. Should Texas invade California? No, probably not. I don't think that would be a good idea. Do you think Kevin Levrone has magic genetics to be able to recomp by growing into a show for 12 weeks? No, I think it's just lots of drugs with amazing genetics. Do you think at what age Sam Saluk will die? You have a good track record. If he doesn't change some stuff, I'm thinking 30s, early 30s. Coach of Texas seceded from the U.S. and fought against them. Would you? Oh, man. I don't support Texas secession. Let me be clear. I actually oppose it. So we have a law in place where it will go up for a vote. I'm going to vote against it if it does come up for the vote. I'm going to vote against it if it comes up for the vote. But if push comes to shove, I mean, if it happens, I'm still going to have to support Texas. But given my choice, I will vote against it when and if it comes up to a vote. Keep in mind that has been discussed, but it's not going to happen now after this last election. The Sam Saluk used Sam, he probably uses way less. Boston was excessive. Why would they throw me in prison, Herky Titties? What am I doing wrong? Seriously, guys. Like, what is it you think that I should be in prison for? Come on. Because I said some things you didn't like on the internet. That's it. Come on. Dallas McCarver was on his autopsy, shows he was on about 10 grams of test. Hey, Deal, I don't care that much about politics anymore. I've been very clear on that. Coach, when it comes to the push press, do you think there is any correlation between Alex Leonidas and Layne Norton having it? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, Wes. Do you believe in Dorian's method of forced reps intentionally in isometric holds while in good amounts of sauce? No, I don't think that that's necessary. I don't think those intensity techniques are particularly ideal. I think the training to failure alone will do it. But that being said, Dorian did win a whole lot of Mr. Olympias. How much of it's genetics and drugs? Sure. Illegally distributing what? Or titties? I don't distribute anything. Who would be in prison from the three I mentioned? Which ones did you just mention? Was Rich Piana on a ton of gear? Just that with recreational drugs, painkillers. He had an Oxycontin addiction. If you were in legend, man, dude, why do we need to go there? Why do we need to go there? Bro, like, why are you guys all obsessed with that? I'm strictly taco, no burrito, guys. Let's get it straight. I get it. I have a pretty big, I have a pretty big gay following, and that's cool. And I wear my booty shorts, but I'm strictly taco personally. You eat Durham? Not sure what we're going with that. If anything, the WHO is still relevant. Know that Trump has left it. A lot of the data is still accurate. Legend, why are we going into these? So are you talking about if they put Blair White in there with me? I mean, is this where we're going? All right, so here's the hypothetical. This is going to make all my haters freak out. So you're saying hypothetically, if they put me in the cell with Blair White, would I have to go ahead and, yeah, I'm going to have to go with yeah, especially if there's no other options. All right. Hey, Chris, I've never committed any actual fraud, though. Jason, you would make bank if you started OnlyFans. Dude, my haters would probably pay a fortune to watch me jerk off. I see gear users tearing tendons away way more often. We've covered that in detail. Quit using the drugs that are more likely to cause it and use more of the ones that are going to be protective of your tendons. Not that difficult. Is it true that almond nuts are not fully absorbed? It's something like 10%. Yeah, that sounds close to right. I think it might be closer to 5% though. I kind of made a post on it. Fitfall, I made a post on Facebook about it. So check out my Facebook page. I started a whole thread on it, and I kind of gave a little bit of my opinion there if you want my take. Coach thoughts on launching Blaha coin cryptocurrency. I don't think that would go too well. I know you're not a doctor, but any advice on training dealing with low back arthritis, degenerative disc without opioids? Get a reverse hyper. Get a reverse hyper. Since you won't address bag push, do you make any real money? Tommy, it makes money, but it's not huge amounts these days. It used to. At its peak, my YouTube was clearing about 5,000 a month. It has not done that in many years. Will you start showing up at Noble Natty's live streams and humiliate them in front of their own audience? No, not really. Why is gear still so much taboo when it's so common? I don't know. All right. Is there much difference between the strap versus roller reverse? I've never used the roller, so I can't really quantify that. I like the straps just fine. Sounds base. Muscle salute proves wokeism is dead because of lefter. All right. There's definitely some hypocrisy there. Coach, are there any fitness influencers that could beat me in a debate? Probably a lot of them. I don't have any formal training in debate. I don't even fully understand how they're supposed to work. I mean, if I just look at them and laugh and tell them to eat a dick, do I lose the debate or do I win at that point? If I just look at the other person and go, you know what, dude, you can eat a bag of dicks. Does that count as a flawless victory? Do I win or do I lose at that point? How does that work? Frank, you don't think so? What? Dr. Layne is not a medical doctor, actually. Daniel, good point. So I win if I just tell them, what? You don't win? Dude, I think that's a flawless victory. The strength cartel seems like a bunch of thugs to me. That's kind of my interpretation. If I don't have a GHR at home, should I do hip hinge variations for hamstring? Or there's some GHR leg alternatives? I don't know. Do what you have access to. You should debate Richard V. Gaines. You beat him easily. I don't know. Does he want to do a debate? What are we going to debate? Whether meat tastes good or not? Whether I think that animals are equal to humans? Well, Frank, because he has a research degree in the field of nutrition, but he's not a medical doctor. That's a point that Bromley brought up, isn't it? Hey, Jay, I'm not going to read that one out loud. I don't need that sort of heat. People accuse me of racism and stuff. I'm just going to leave that alone, dude. All right. Did you ban me, Jason? Not criticizing, just asking questions. No deal breaker. You are not banned, but I'm not going to address your nonsense. All right. Honestly, it would be just entertaining to see you and Vegan Gains talk. Maybe. I wonder how that would go. I wonder what would really happen if Richard and I we just did not even a debate. We just got in a chat and talked. I have no idea how that'd go down. Wonder how that would go down. Vegan Gains and Lex Fitness. I didn't see that one, I don't think. Yeah, I don't see why you'd have to debate, but I think it'd be an epic and give you both a lot of views. It could be interesting just from the outreach, right? Did you see Vegan Gains girl transformation? Yeah, I did. I wonder what Vegan Gains makes of the Noble Natty crew. I have no idea. I have no idea what his opinion is on it. Would you debate Milo about stretch-mediated hypertrophy? Maybe. Sure. Would he debate me on it? Or would he just make ad hominems? Wait, he challenged him to show up to an expo. Vegan Gains showed up, then Lex Fitness looked like a fool. Later challenged him to a fight. Well, no surprise. There's a bunch of you watching. If you guys could follow me on the Facebook page, it would be appreciated. Give me a follow there. Go down the road and like my stuff. If you guys would, real quick. Do you use a bulldog grip? Not really. I've quit overhead pressing as of this week. I do a normal grip on the bench press, though. Milo would be an interesting discussion as well. Just sad that girl looks like that now. I could just clown him for being a do you even lift? Be like, dude, Milo, you have a PhD in not making gains. Like, why do you put on a t-shirt and not look like you even lift? I mean, what's the point, dude? If you put on a shirt and you don't even look like you lift, what are you even doing? Like, you guys can hate on me, but you can't say I don't look like I lift in a shirt, you know? Yes, I've tried all sorts of stuff for my neck, including the massage gun. Morgan, he's not going to debate me. Your shirts, they're not small. Deal, would you just delete? What do you mean? I didn't give up on getting an impressive physique. Have you not been watching the vlogs? Thoughts on Bitcoin? I use Bitcoin for some of my clients. You wear a size large. Yes, I'm wearing a size large. And guys, I'm 220 pounds. Context. And if I were as short as my haters claim, I'd be so much thicker. Would you do a live stream with Ryan Humison? I don't know who that is. Make a meme coin called Blahino coin. I don't think that would take off. But I'm not 5'8". Legit. All right. Ever thought of trying a grappling sport? Not really. Herky titties, I am definitely bigger than you, dude. Jay, I was in the 240s. I was around 245, 246. Which is why I realized this was not going to work. I was getting way too heavy. Who has the worst physique, coach, athlete, next month? Milo out of those for sure. All right. Smart idea in your 40s was a one-way ticket to early death. I agree, Jay. I agree. That's why I'm now becoming a true natty. Right? We're going to be natty moving forward. Natty, natty, natty. Would you coach Herky Titties? Maybe he got some gains. No, dude, he's too mentally ill. Lamo says, yo, Jason, looking good, man. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you for the compliment. What? Yeah, a guy that talking about being 300. No, dude. Mm-mm. I'm stronger than 89% of people my age. I think you got that number wrong. What would you rate Elon Musk's physique? Oh, come on, dude. I think we already know the answer to that. I'm not going to be insulting. We need to get Elon into the gym. I train Elon. Money getter. I think people on the autism spectrum are naturally attracted to you. I guess they are, man. Here's the thing. Imagine a bunch of dudes who don't even show their physiques at all, literally hating on my physique at 48 with how I look. Let that one sink in. Let that sink in for a minute. I mean, come on, guys. I bet half of them don't work out at all. I mean, perfect example. Look at Herky Titties. He actually does put up himself shirtless, and he's literally talking trash on me. And look at him. You know what I mean, guys? No, I think most of them don't train at all. They follow me from their weird little circles. Yeah, Frank. No, my haters all have a sexual fetish towards me. Look at all this stuff with the dildos and all the memes they make. They have an obsession. And we all know that, and it's obvious to everyone looking at. Do you think AI? I doubt it, but maybe one day. Who knows? That stuff in HNG was wild, coach. I know, right? Legend says, yeah, they got repressed sexuality. Do an interview with Vegeta. There's no need. Doesn't have a big enough outreach. Herky titties. Is that what you're fantasizing about? Is that what all the haters who have been in here are fantasizing about today? I bet you they are. That's all they think about. Yeah, I do think Milo looks small on camera. He's a lot bigger in person because he's 6'3". He squatted 450. Has he squatted 450 for 10? I was unaware that he could squat even 400 for one. Who do you think is the bottom of the Noble Natties? Strap on Destiny. Like weird muscle fetish stuff. Yeah, there is, man. We know that. Oh, I'm not bulking, dude. What sport produces the strongest athletes? I'm recomping Abdul. Who do you think you like more? Your what? I don't understand what you said. Where are we at? We're at an hour. Probably gonna wind this down, man. Probably about time to wind it down. We'll do some more lives tomorrow. Obviously, we'll get a coffee chat. So I hope it's been informative. I love all of you guys and gals. Let me give you guys a Mount Bicephalus before we go. Oh, Mount Bicephalus. And I will do a squat day tomorrow for you guys.